guys, it's Shelfy, and welcome to this episode of the Krafty Koopa. Today we are making Nintendo 3DS cookies, and it's my first time baking something, so please bear with me. So let's get started with what you'll need for your Nintendo 3DS cookies. We have sugar cookie mix or your favorite sugar cookie recipe. I have enlisted the help of my friend Betty Crocker. We need some all-purpose flour. This is just regular white flour that you get at the grocery store. We need some cookie icing. I have black cookie icing and white cookie icing. We need some sprinkles. These are Rainbow Chip Crunch, so they're more like tiny little chocolate chips that come in many colors. 1 stick of butter or 1 cup of butter. Whatever your sugar cookie recipe, whatever else it needs. Mine needs butter and an egg, which I will get. You'll need a mixing bowl, a knife, and a rectangular cutout, or if you can find a rectangular cookie cutter, use that because it will be easier. But the store does not believe in basic shapes. This is a frosting tip. It's a little bit bigger than the ones that come on the icing packs, so I have this just for, you'll see, but this is recommended. Cookie sheets and a rolling pin. So the first thing you want to do is make your cookie dough. Whatever you need to do that, I have to add this packet, a stick of butter, an egg, and 3 tablespoons of flour. Make sure that if you're following a recipe on some mix, you use the one that is for cutout cookies, because you don't want drop cookies, because those are just little, like, circular cookies. Oh yes. America. Butter. I feel like Paula Deen in a symbolic way. Tablespoon or 3. Cool. Totally optional. I'm using a hand mixer, I guess you call it. I'm like slightly afraid of these things, so we're just gonna see how this goes. It's on like the lowest speed too. I'm kidding you not right now. So after years of tireless effort, your cookie dough should look like this. It'll like stick together. Now it's time to work with our hands, so make sure you've washed your hands. I did just before this. And you want to like make your cookie dough into like a big ball. I'm gonna take some flour, because you should always work on a floured surface when you're working with cookie dough, because the flour makes it so that your cookies don't stick to your countertop. Yeah, and then you can take your floury hands. It's okay, your hands have a problem, but you do not. And sprinkle some flour on your cookie dough too. And watch as your oversized sleeves get in the way. So once you have floured your surface and your cookie dough, you want to take your rolling pin, which is over here in this case, and roll out your cookie dough. You may also want to flour your rolling pin too. This rolling pin does not seem very sticky at all, but I have had cookie dough once stick to a rolling pin. It was not very fun. But you want to roll out your cookie dough to 1/4 of an inch thick. Yeah. So next you want to take your knife and your paper cutout, or your rectangular cookie cutter if you're not ratchet, and start cutting out your little cookies, and you can just break away your extra cookie dough bits, and you have your cookie. And then you want to put it on your cookie sheet to go into the oven, and I suggest that while you are cutting out your cookies, you heat your oven to whatever you need it for your cookie dough, whatever dough you want to use. Mine says 375 or 350 for dark or non-stick cookie sheets, which is what I'm using. So 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And here is your entire sheet of cookies. I don't want to tilt it that much, but yeah, it should be like that. All right, so once you have your cookies all done, just stick them in the oven at whatever temperature and for how much time your corresponding cookie recipe is for. So once your cookies have had plenty of time to cool, and they're out of the oven, they're all nice, you want to start to decorate them. So you need 2 cookies for each DS, right? So we have the top cookie and the bottom cookie. Top cookie is obviously just gonna be the top screen, so you just want to make a black rectangle on it. And that'll be the top one. And then obviously the bottom section of the 3DS will have the bottom screen along with the circle pad, D-pad, and buttons over here. Cookie icing is a lot runnier than I originally thought it was. So it's not like a cake where it will just like, you squeeze it out and it will stay in place. No, it will run like paint everywhere. So, with your white cookie icing, you might just want to take a little bit out since we're only attaching our tiny little buttons with white cookie icing right now, and put it in the fridge to make it a little bit more solid. And putting it in the fridge is for later. So with black cookie icing, you really don't need that much for a top screen of the 3DS. You can literally just put some in the middle and spread it outward with anything that you can like control a little bit more. You could do a food paintbrush. They do sell those. You can use a fork. You can use a chopstick. You can use a toothpick. It doesn't really matter what you use, but then you just want to like spread it out a little bit so that you didn't put too much on, and so that it's not super, super, super runny, because it's a mess. Black cookie icing will stain everything, including your heart and soul. And by your heart and soul, I mean your tongue. But that's how it works. And then you can just use a little bit on a piece of paper or the old bag that your cookie mix came in. And for your circle pad, you just want a little circle. And for your D-pad, you just want a little plus. That's all there is to it. Yay, okay. Now buttons. Oh, yep. Buttons, I just take some white cookie icing. I always do this with the chopstick because if you try and do it straight out of the bottle, it will make a mess. The top that they give you is just too much. Too much. So we got, it goes blue-green on the top two for the X and the Y, and then red and yellow. So in a diamond, starting at the top, going counterclockwise, it's blue, green, yellow, red. And that is what your bottom of the 3DS is gonna look like. Once you've let your icing set, it actually dries really, really smooth, and you can just like it doesn't even come off. It's like, it really is like paint, to be honest. And I am just going to arrange my cookies on a plate like so, and I'm gonna put them in a little stack so that they look kind of cute. I mean, it still kind of looks like a 3DS that's open. I do enjoy the buttons a lot, and they do taste good on there. So I'm gonna stack up my cookies in a nice stack. I covered my cookies when I let the icing set because that helps to make sure that they don't go stale as fast. And then if you want to store these cookies, I recommend putting either a piece of tin foil over or a piece of clear saran wrap over. Here's another bottom screen and the top. I also realize now that you can make a template that looks like a Game Boy Advance and do a Game Boy Advance design instead, if you would like to do that. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Krafty Koopa. If you enjoyed and you want to see more, you can subscribe right here to the Nintendo Enthusiast channel and check out all of our other shows. They're pretty cool, so you should do it. If you want to see more of me, you can go to youtube.com/user/Shelfy and Co. And that is where I do Nintendo vlogs, amiibo unboxings. Anyway, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next video. Bye!